Anyways, yeah, yeah. So, this is a video game. That's Terraroria. I sat down for a second, computer intrusion and all. Tried to stream to Twitch, um, for a bit. Someone just kept turning it off. So, I guess I'm just gonna sit down and record this then. Let me make sure everything's okay. Most likely the audio works here, right? Let's hope so. If not, I'll just remake it. To be honest with you, I'm kind of tired of the portion of thinking where it's, you know, always an uphill battle with people. I never truly understood the whole oppositional mindset. Usually you should just be happy, you know, someone else is doing well, or something is going good, you know. But I sat down for a minute and had to go through what I was going through, even earlier tonight, with someone sitting there messing with what I'm doing. And it's simply for the fact of just ego, I think. On on that basis, there really isn't, you know, anything you can justify there, especially with things like this. It doesn't hurt anybody. It's not within the mentality to even be harmful. I mean, it's just a little pixel game. Why is it such a big deal, right? Why is it such a big deal, you know? And I sat there and just listened to the way, you know, I was feeling, and also in the moment, dealing with someone, you know, who, albeit most likely doesn't even get it. Most likely just doesn't even understand, to begin with. Someone just messing with my computer anytime they want to. They even called the police over it. I tipped the FBI about the computer intrusion, and nothing was done about it. In fact, the issue got worse. And who do you really talk to about that afterwards? Really is no one. You go to law enforcement to help. You go to law enforcement so that they'll help, you know? But, I don't know. Just dealing with it now. I think I'll just sit here and make videos then. I won't stream. I won't stream on Twitch then. Really not that big of a deal. They don't pay me. So, as long as the issue stops. As long as these people go away, I'll be just fine. So, as long as these people go away, I'll be just fine. I don't know why they're like that. I really don't. I've never met anyone more combative or less informed, more combative, and arguably I just don't even know sometimes with life and everything else. I've been going through it. I have been going through so many facets of life that I shouldn't, and having to deal with, like, say, someone else's ego, or the way that they are, or even with someone sitting there turning off my stream whenever they want to. I don't know. That's not something anyone wants to go through. Especially when you're sitting there making something. just being disruptive innately. But now that I won't stream on Twitch, there's no reason for them to bother me anymore. So let's hope the issue goes away. I think I'll just sit and make videos for YouTube then. If it's really that big of a problem. And that being said, I guess I could do like a recap on Twitch. I've been on that platform for like 8 or so years. 8 or so years. I've been there the entire time. I've streamed pretty consistently. You know, I have my own subscribe button. Like, the Viscausa channel has a subscribe button on it. I may not have any subscribers, but it has one. I may not have any subscribers, or I have made no money, but because I did it for so long, I think they gave me a subscribe button. That being said, there has been a lot of things that have happened through that platform in my life, and you know, I don't even want to talk about it. Most of the people have hurt me. Every interaction I've had on Twitch has hurt me. I've been, you know, like, some people will say, and it's because it's kind of a hidden gem channel. Viscausa, it's named that, and it's like a hidden gem that you find on the platform. It's something I've been making for a long time. I paint, I do art, I do murals. But I also like to make things on the internet. I think it's a very good way to like spend my time. And to be honest with you, life is too short to sit and think of anything else other than what you like to do, or even creativity. So, just in that mentality, it's kind of a interesting observation that it would be getting, you know, not taken down, but just, I don't know. Something about it just doesn't seem right, because someone will sit there and just disable the stream whenever they'd like to. And that's really not something I'm about. I don't like to do that kind of thing. I called the cops about it, but it may just be the company. That being said, there have been people on Twitch who have, like, just straight up broken the law about computer intrusion and everything else, and hurt me as a result of it. But, you know, I'm not gonna let that stop me from making the Terraroria. Tonight that will not stop me from making Terraria. It won't. I sat here thinking about it. I really just want to sit down and relax. I'm going through it in my life, you know, and albeit everything that I put on Twitch is in the VOD storage, channel highlights, everything in it. I sat there and made. So I don't know why someone would be sitting there just turning it off whenever they want to. And it's something that I don't want to deal with. I don't want to have to deal with these people anymore. It's a disruption to my life. It'll bother me at work, you know, because I work separate jobs other than that. And it bothers me at work. It'll bother me at work. But maybe I'll just, you know, I'll just make my videos and kind of chill. Because I don't know. I'm tired of thinking negatively. Nothing in my life seems to go right. So we'll give you that one. How about that? I'll give you that. I won't stream on Twitch anymore. If it's that big of a deal. And you can have whatever. You can have your time. That's fine. That being said, you know, to really tell you, sorry, just the UI disrupts it. But to really tell you that it had a positive effect on my life, I would be lying. For as long as I did stream, and it's not just about the money, to be honest with you, because I'm a very creative person. I like things that, you know, make people happy, and interesting things on the internet, and, you know, having portions of thinking that are, you know, different. A different kind of mindset about it. But, you know, from the point of view of, say, someone saying that they benefited from it, to be honest with you, I've been hurt more than I've been helped. So, but not a lot of people go out of their way to stream as long as, like, people who have streamed as long as I have also have made money from it. You know, it's their job, it's everything, right? For me, I'd say that mentality is actually a bit different. Because I'll sit and I'll just make something just to make it. But it isn't, you know, it's not like I don't put cohesive thought into it, or time, or the mentality in art, where someone will sit down and actually craft something, and have some craftsmanship, and some showmanship, and respect for it. But on that basis, I don't want to have to deal with people abusing me through the computer as a result of Twitch. I don't want that to happen anymore. And, you know, that being said, I just won't be on the platform anymore. I'll just make my YouTube videos, and that'll be that. Because it just seemed at this point in time, it seems as though it just won't work anymore. And I don't want people to have an excuse to speak to me, or people to have an excuse to bother me in that way. that being said, I don't know who you serve a subpoena to over computer intrusion or anything like that, but I will just be glad to be rid of the people bothering me, as long as they did. Because it's really just supposed to be something fun. It's really just it's supposed to help people, it's supposed to have community outreach, everything like that. You know, and it's supposed to serve an intrinsic purpose. It also makes money, but to have that kind of outlook about it, it's supposed to have fun, right? But with that amount of money, and you know, if you look at the Twitch salaries and everything, with that amount of money and that way of thinking about it, and here's the thing, when I talk about it, I'll tell you, I've been there for a very long time. I've been making what I'm making, or making this even, for a very long time. So, here's something that I'll tell you. Do you know the difference between $1 and $10? $10 and $100? What about $100 and 1,000? Right? And then you start to think, okay, well, what am I talking about? Do you know the difference between $1,000 and $10,000? What about the difference between $10,000 and 100,000? What about 100,000 and a million? And then you go and look on Twitch, and you look at the salaries that people are paid, and it's like, I'm making something for, not only for me, but because it's something that I've been working on for a long time, and then having to deal with other people, even on the platform, taking what I do down, you know, intruding on my computer, most likely even surveilling me, dealing with a whole litany of other issues, and it's a computer, it's a television network, you know? It's a television network at the end of the day. Meaning, you know, some of those people that you see, they're paid to entertain. They're paid to be there and entertain. Not, you know, not hurt people. They're not there so that they can hurt you through the internet. But in personal account, I mean, that's happened before too. So, you know, I'm looking at it as, you know, for someone who's been making something for as long as I have, and other people have too, not to downtrot their aspects of work, but for someone who takes pride in their work, just seeing, you know, the downtrodden sensibility about it, and having that issue, even, because I don't want someone telling me, you know, I can't make something, especially if it's not hurting anyone. I don't want someone telling me I can't, you know, there's so much time. There's so much time on Earth. You shouldn't sit there being restricted by anyone. Ever. And regardless, I just think it's just an interesting observation about the whole topic. Because people have just straight up shut my stream off, been in my computer, viewed my files, personal information, health records, as if it's nothing. And you think, on the basis of that, are you really going to, sit there and abuse me after? In which I mean, like, the whole camera in the laptop, you know, and keep my camera open, right, on my laptop just so people know that. But I don't want anyone viewing it illegally. That's occurred too. And what I'm going to tell you about that kind of thing is that people get very weird about, you know, personal appearance. People get weird about just about everything. But the reason being is that I keep my laptop camera open like it's an app. You just click the camera app, right? But it's open on the PC simply because I refuse to cover it. I won't cover it. You shouldn't be really looking into anyone's webcam at the end of the day. And that seems to have a adverse effect, to be honest with you. It seemed to have just one of those things about it that people didn't like. Or maybe I don't know. But I started getting attacked through the platform. And they have never paid me anything. So when that happens, I guess, the only option for the company is just to tell me I can't stream anymore. Because it's essentially, it's that. I was getting attacked and that ended up happening. So I think just for now I'll just make the YouTube videos. I really just wanted to sit down and play Terraria, to be honest with you, because I like this game. Never played it all the way through, and I haven't had a lot of time for myself just because I've been homeless, and it's one of my only things that I like to do. But I sat down for a minute and really thought about it. Maybe that was the response, or maybe just some freak weirdo was sitting at my computer, messing with my stream the entire time. But I mean, even in terms of that, I've had to go through so much. I'm gonna be honest with you. My life has not been good. At all. Whatsoever. And when I say that, I don't mean to complain or anything like that, but it hasn't. I mean, it hasn't been good. I've never had fun in my lifetime. Ever. I've never felt good. I have a relatively low self-esteem just for the sake of the fact that, I can't really account for the way anything is. And being that kind of person, I guess, it's just, it takes its toll on people. It does. Having to deal with other people, I didn't know you could hold shift into this. But having other people try and tell you, you're wrong for what you do. And really, I don't know. I'm fed up with that kind of thing. To be honest with you, it's more than just that. It's more than just sitting here and telling someone you're wrong and like a light switch, just turning everything off and saying, here you go, this is how I feel, right? I don't know. I just don't want to deal with it anymore. So that being said, I do think it's interesting. Right. Is this the crafting station? Oh, this is storage. Oh, okay. You gotta click the green one to get the storage. But yeah. So I haven't had a lot of time just because I've been like suffering, been homeless. Tomorrow I have to leave the place that I'm at and go and find somewhere else to live. And that's a process in and of itself. It's a process in and of itself. But I'm tired of getting abused. I've not had a good life. And as long as people don't bother me anymore as much as they did, then I think things will be a little bit better. Because I mean, you go down the list of people, the top creators on the platform, and then seeing, what I went through, right? And I'll tell you, it's 100% real. I wouldn't lie to you about it, but the way people can be about it, I don't like that. You know what I mean? Oh, that's kind of cool. Wait, it's JoJo. What's JoJo's Bizarre Adventure? Is this thing gonna be here forever? Oh, okay. What I'm saying to you, the way they can be about it, especially with the nature of how much currency and how much money that they have, it's almost like dealing with grown children sometimes. It's, there'll be times where I'll go into a stream on Twitch and I don't know what anybody will be talking about, and I'll sit down and for some reason, it feels like there's a bit of attention on you, or on me, right? And I think that's like kind of where the platform is going, but also as a result of that, you have to think a lot of those people are kind of grown-ass children, like I met people through Twitch that were grown men that didn't understand the difference between boundaries with people. They didn't understand how to really even talk to anybody. And that's an issue just in and of itself for some people. So, just making that observation, especially with that amount of money, they look at it that way. Millions of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars, and you're paid there, to basically be good at something, good at entertaining because people like you, and here I am, right, in comparison, I've been there for longer than 5 years, just doing what I do, right, this same thing, right, this is a video game, and everything else. The commentary, I'll sit for hours and just talk, because not only is it helpful to me, but I just think in some shape or form, the internet is a place where, like, everything remains there throughout history. It's the only accountability humanity has that's lasting. It'll be there well well after we're dead, even. Meaning, you know, it might be better just to let people be. Especially if that's what the end result is that we all do die. But I sat and thought about it. If it's really that big of an issue, then I just, you know, I'll just make what I make without having to stream it. Because I've been dealing with the issue for too long. Now it's been a few months now. So, and that being said, I didn't think I would have to deal with it for a few months straight, but I don't know. It might have been occurring for over a year now. But what I will tell you is that I'm done with that. I just want that to be over. Let me out of whatever kind of cage that you put me in, and I want that to be over. Don't bother me anymore. You know what I mean? It's as a result of the internet that people think it's acceptable just to act however they want to. The anonymity of a screen name, and especially if you run into someone that knows computers or something. You run into the tech dude who has no respect for anyone else, and he shuts your computer off like it's nothing, and he's like, well, I know computers, and I have so much more money than you. I know computers, and I have so much more money than you. And he repeats himself over and over again. That's how it is. It's people on it. People, I don't know. I don't think that's cool. But it's whatever. Just dealing with those kind of types. The same thing goes for, you know, like people who just like lack respect, right? You can't account for it. Can't account for the way that other people are gonna act ever. So, I don't know. As long as I'm not bothered anymore, I think that things will end up going a little bit better. Because every day you know, I have this thought, I'll wake up for work. I don't want to have to deal with anyone from Twitch anymore. I don't want to have to deal with them. I shouldn't be being abused by the television company. And even then, what I make is it's actually very good. So, on that note, I think I'll just leave it be. Right? That being said, this is still a video game, and I do have other things to talk about. So along the lines of finding a new place to live, right? Because I am still homeless. Being that person, right? That doesn't try to, I don't know, doesn't stay in that pessimistic uh, frame of thinking about it. It's hard to be that way, especially when life isn't going well. Because like I said, I do not have a very good life. And with any right mind or person in the way that they are, being the person that they are, you know, or the person that I am, like even if I'm not going, you know, going to have a good life, even if I don't feel good, I'm not gonna take it out on anyone else. And I think that's like a firm observation of even like moral character. That's an observation of even moral character. Because some people, when they're bothered that much, they'll sit and they'll have a aggression response. They'll want to hurt other people. They'll do something to, you know, make it that way, even. And I've never really understood that. I don't want to have to worry about absolutely anything in that one. But it is a response system, and you see it even in, you know, say the media, people and their backlash, and even psychopaths, sociopaths, things like that. Is that you see, you know, their lack of empathy towards other people. And it's something to watch out for. It truly is. But, you know, out of everyone, I guess I'll just be the one good person. That being said, for, you know, close to 8 years, I did make that. And still, even this, I kind of consider YouTube to be television too. It's more popular than television. YouTube is now it is. And I don't know. It's more popular than TV. It sells more. It is a observation of not only that, but the way that the world is going in technology. The world relies on technology. Everything is integrated for it. Integrated into it, a result of it, and it's part of life. So, just in that way, I guess, what is this thing? I guess in that way, you can just kind of see it that way. You can see it for what it is. It's just an observation of life. That technology is integrated into everything. And on that matter, I guess it does serve as something truly important to, at least to me. But the way that it went and the way that it's been going lately, I don't want to have to deal with people abusing me through the internet either. It's not something that works. It doesn't work that way. Let's look at the inventory. Also, I should probably get rid of this mod that slows everything down in the UI. Where's the rune slot go? Anyways, yeah, this is a video game. It's Terraroria, and honestly, I needed time to relax from that kind of thing. I can't do the whole thing with it anymore. I'm not gonna fight uphill for absolutely nothing. The company doesn't pay me in the first place, and they shouldn't have abused me the way that they did. So I'll just make what I make here. But, you know, as for that, I haven't been stressed out. Like I said, being outside for long portions of time, having life events come up, you know, and that being said, my parents are getting old. I start to reflect on that. Like, why haven't I bought them a house yet? Well, it's probably because, you know, life is harder than you think. But they're getting old. I'm getting old. But the whole portion of thinking surrounding the homelessness aspect is that I haven't been able to sleep lately. Like broken sleeping patterns and things like that. I'll toss and turn. And I think it's just because an aspect of human psychology isn't meant to feel unsafe. You're not meant to feel unsafe all the time. And trying to close your eyes and go to sleep outside is just, I don't know. But I took it as that. And then going back to, I'd say, sleeping in just a bed right now, it's a little different. That and there's depression, suicide, all of that is like taken into account, especially even when, you know, things aren't going right. And nothing seems to go right sometimes. But, I don't know. It is a recap and check-in. Dealing with the computer intrusion has been so exhausting from whoever's doing it. I don't want to be bothered anymore by the dude. So I don't want to be bothered by whoever it is. I don't care. I don't care for them. And here's the thing about it. When someone tries to insert themselves into your life, you have to bring up all the facets of it. Too. You don't pay my bills. And here's the thing, it's a privilege. It's a privilege to be around anyone. It's a privilege to be around your friend, right? You call up your friend, you say, hey, do you want to hang out today? They can tell you no, right? But with the computer and someone sitting there intruding upon your privacy, you can't get rid of them. So there's like hypervigilance applied to it. There's when is this person here and when are they not here. There's, you know, diffusion of responsibility about it. Cycle blame. Everything psychologically within that mentality. Start distrusting peers, you know, and looking at it that way as a mechanism of psychology, especially with someone just, you know, doing what they please to you whenever they like to. It's not something you want to have to deal with. It's not something you want to have to deal with at all. So that portion of it also to be pointed out. Just with the entire situation, even tonight, is a bit of an observation of what people think is truly right and wrong, because it is wrong to do that. But I don't know. At the end of the day, I want them to stop bothering me. So if that'll do it, then that'll do it. I don't have to deal with it anymore. That being said, my computer, and I do a lot of artwork online all the time. So I'm on my computer all the time. Just having that reflected in the time that's been wasted of mine from this other person, it starts to actually really bum me out. It just bums me the heck out. Especially looking at that kind of thing. Wasted too much of my time. I'm sitting there trying to make something. And it's, you know, innately because people oftentimes lack respect, you know. So, with that being said, yeah. I think I'll just do this. And what I like about it is that not only am I very good at talking and communicating, but not a lot of people really take the time to do the sorts of things that I do. You know, especially even with just with observations of the entire commentary aspect. There aren't a lot of channels or things that are like this. So, most likely I'll continue to make it. But what's interesting about that kind of thing is that, you know, now there's no excuse to sit and abuse me every day. You know? There's no excuse for anyone from Twitch to know me, to talk to me. I don't have to deal with any of it. I can just, you know, make what I want to make. But communication is huge with me. I'm huge on the whole, like, please say how you feel, rather than, you know, aggression response, or anything else. But even then, I don't know, sometimes. Especially with life. And like I said, nothing seems to want to go right sometimes. As for that, I think just within life, I've been looking at this place because I live in Minnesota, right? And I've been looking at this apartment in Minneapolis that I'm gonna set as a goal and a marker for me. And it's a nice place. It's like it's a cool little spot. And I can sit and do my art. But in the meantime, I think I have to go back to looking for a place to live. And it's one of those things too. It's stressful, it's painful. I haven't had a very good life at all. And other people seem to be much more happy than I am. But on that note, you know, I guess that kind of thing doesn't matter. I don't know though. There is no excuse for me to be abused. So that's good. And that being said, I did have this whole portion of thinking before with the civic lawsuit. I actually won the civic lawsuit, which is interesting, right? You only ever see the negative aspects. You always think when someone's going to court, you know, they're gonna lose the case. But I ended up winning it. So I'm still kind of happy about that kind of thing. At least I won against the federal government. Phoenix Wright is attorney, so and you know they don't ever expect someone to be as well informed as I was either, but you have to be your own attorney in this day and age, because if you're not, then you're misinformed and arguably stupid. So do your own legal work too. That is like one of the biggest recommendations I can if you ever have something like that happen. Do your own legal work. Don't just trust your attorney on it, because if you don't, then you're misinformed on the topic, and they'll just try to tell you straight lies. They'll lie to you. They'll lie to you and tell you that the laws don't exist, and this is a special circumstance. Well, actually, no. Actually, no. It's not like that. So, yeah, that whole civic case is now gone now, at least. But I don't know, I just guess from that mentality, I suffered a lot of abuse from him. I'm still trying to get back into the mentality, get back into my own headspace to, like, recuperate, I guess. That whole year of time wasted of my life, it really took a toll on me. It did, mentally. And I know I'm just sitting here, I haven't really been doing anything. Sitting here just running around in Terraroria, but maybe it's just a brief check-in, and then decorate a bit. Brief check-in with this goblin. I will tell you though, not a lot of people really actually truly even think of others in that way. They don't take accountability either, so whenever I think, oh, that's a little hat, that's a mushroom. Wait, but is a mushroom hat better? Okay, we'll keep that. We'll keep that. But, you know, with 9 billion people on Earth, okay? If you cross paths with one person and you spend a bit of time with one person, you know, that's good enough. It's not a privilege to just abuse whoever you want to. And, you know, most people don't take accountability. Most people don't care how other people feel, you know? And that's most likely the product of that situation. Even on Twitch. That was the product of that. That person did not care. So they just kept turning my stream off. They didn't care. But I've been working on it for this amount of time, and I spent a lot of time talking and everything else. I just did not care. So just that for an example, but I mean, even in passing, when people have like close personal friends and everything like that, you know, it's a privilege to be around them, around anyone. So I just don't think that's reflected very often, even. But still, though, I like to think there are good people in the world, for sure. I'm sorry, I'm just looking at colors, trying to decorate this one. But, you know, and it's an innate observation, even within someone's character, to see positive things. See something better than what's happening. And it seems to be me all the time. Just circumstantial issues, life events, going through it. I'm always having to see the positive rather than the negative, even though there shouldn't be any, you know. And I don't, you know, I'm not gonna sit and complain about it either. I'm never that. Never a complainer. But still. Or, I don't know, I want to get different torches for the area. Can be placed. What is this stuff? Oh, you know what? Oh, you know what? It's red. Oh, you know what? Yup. It's going into a heart. Because it's red. Oh, damn it. I really just wanted to sit and relax, and my night was ruined by that person who just ends my stream whenever they want to. But I don't even know. People are people. People can be horrible. People can be good people. But people are people, for sure. Is that a heart? Does that work? It doesn't really look. It looks like a t-shirt. Let's try this again. Let's try it. Is that a heart? Let's try it one more time. I won't be on the platform. But damn it! God damn it. Wait, I'm onto something. Damn it. I gotta redo it all. actually really like what I'm doing right now. Hold on. You have to understand. Okay, just one second. Yes. That actually is. Oh, that's so prime. Alright, that's pretty okay. You see it? You see it? Pretty okay. What is that? Shroom hat? How do I equip it? It says equipable. I already have one. Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry. Wait, oh. What is that? No, damn it. Like I said, I've never played this flipping game before, so there's so much stuff in it. And I want to get rid of the UI lag. So I'm gonna have to turn off the mod, but I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to do something. I don't know. Is that funny to anyone else? I don't even know. Mushroom platform, mushroom workbench. We're going for the red heart look. Okay. So that being said, let's just make this look a little bit different. But like I said, I don't like to be super stressed out about that kind of stuff. You know? This is an observation. I don't like to be super stressed out. And when they have, and think about it, if it's that intention about it. Think about it, if it's that intention about it, right? They have hundreds of thousands of dollars, millions of dollars, and they don't want me streaming. For what reason again? You know what I mean? You think it's some petty game. It's not a petty game. I wonder if this ore is rare. I'm just using it as art. Most likely not. Just want to make my thing. Do you get what I'm saying? Do you get what I'm saying? They didn't want me to make my thing. So, I mean, with all of that money, thousands of dollars, and sure, you can say, oh, it's about gaming, it's a gaming website. No, the hell it's not. I got abused by that website. who do I talk to about it? About the 8 years I spent and all the abuse I went through. I just want to make my thing. I'm sorry. I'm whatever. It's like it's like, come on, man. I just want to make my thing, dude. Come on. And then here's me like joking about it, but it really does kind of upset me that it looks all blue. As for everything else, though, you could say it's a bit much, right? It's a bit much to have to deal with that kind of thing. Can you place these down? No. No, you cannot. But that would have been a cool decoration. Who? Banana split. Who up with the anklet of wind? I like this game. But I don't know sometimes about life. I really don't. That apartment in Minneapolis it's gonna be, I don't know. It's something I have to actively work on. So I guess like that, like not having an excuse for them to abuse me actually kind of works at the end of the day. So the reason I'm getting all this sand is because I'm gonna go make glass. Oh, don't fall to the bottom of the sea in a hole in the bottom of the sea. And you know, that being said, if you don't feel, there's a shop here. This guy's a magic elevator. It goes all the way down to hell. Wow, that's kind of awesome. Magic open arena, massive arena for surface, magic closed arena, magic bridge, or long bridge that can go on the sky or in hell. Tome of the Forest, enlighten you the knowledge of the biome. Oh heck no. This guy's always useful stuff. Why are you trapped on the ground floor? And it's whatever, I'll just continue painting. Making stuff like this. I gotta paint the Annunciation again. Before I die. Is that really all the glass I could get? From that amount of sand? How much is it? It's only 113. Come on. Actually, maybe glass walls are better here. I kinda actually like that. Oh, hopefully I don't run out. I have another story, other than everything else that was occurring tonight. But, you know, being the type of person I am, I try to find, like, the little things in life, sometimes. So, you know, I've grown accustomed to eating ramen noodles. And what it is a very cheap snack. But I'll just break apart some dry ramen noodles, right? Then I'll put the little packet in there and I'll eat it as chips. And that, you know, it ends up being a pretty good snack. I'm not even gonna lie. It's a good snack, and it's like, you know, in some way, I feel as though it's justified. I feel as though that snack actually reflects kind of how I feel sometimes. It's very temporary. It's a carbohydrate. And I like it, okay? I like it. But also, I don't want to eat it all the time. And being poor, man, yeah, it's too much. I go through too much. But it's still kind of good. Kind of good. Not very good, but kind of. Right? I don't know, something. Again, now what I'm thinking here is that, okay, I've run out of glass balls. What I'm thinking here is that take the wood wall, right? And pillars. And yes, pillars. That is too high. But I don't know, I hope these people leave me alone. I hope those people leave me alone forever now. can just send a lawsuit or something. After all this is over. Let me ask colors. And that being said, I'll just go finish my degree and most likely go into healthcare. So. Yes, complete the pillar. Yes. I really don't want to have to, you know, I don't want to have to go my whole life with waiting for people to be respectful. You know what I mean? If they don't know how to treat you, you shouldn't be around anymore. But that also goes for the way that people can be, just off of that basis. You shouldn't have to teach grown adults respect at all. You shouldn't have to teach grown adults really anything, or even boundaries, right? Let's say you get the benefit of the doubt if you're like fresh out of high school, 18, but once you're 22, to me you should know just about everything about the world. And it's not as if I don't work like 3 different jobs, so maybe that's a good precursor. Just the full resume and reflection and my therapy, the portion of time I spent doing therapy for people, like people with disabilities and everything else, people with mental illness. It's, you know, that's an observation. Even some of those people, you know, they have mental illness too. They're narcissistic. They're, you know, they think the world revolves around them, and they can say and do whatever they feel because they have hundreds of thousands of dollars. That's a celebrity mentality. Then you end up seeing just, you know, truly how they are. Some people lack the ability to even sit and have a discussion without raising their voice, yelling and screaming. Yelling and screaming, not really offering anything to discussion, even. So, I don't know. Sometimes. And it's not that I'm like judgmental about it, it's just an observation in and of itself. And then you hear about the weird stuff that they do in California. Whatever weird ass sex cult they got going on. just in that frame of preference, you know, keep me out of that, I guess. I have other things to do. It's also part of the reason why I started writing like an actual book too. Part of the reason, the other reason is I've had the idea for the novel for as long as I can remember, but what really pushed me forward on that frame of thinking is that how many current writers or fiction novelists do you know? And then on that basis, how many young people in this day and age that actually sit down and write a fiction novel? Not many. And you can pay to have it published by Amazon. Someone will read it and review it, but I don't know. That celebrity mentality, it's also narcissism. Just to point that out. And I don't know, I don't mean to be that exact way that I just described, but I mean, I paint exceedingly well. I make artwork and music exceedingly well. I mean, I even play the piano and everything. So I mean, it's even just within that. I think just as a precursor, people don't really oftentimes see that they really aren't doing anything sometimes, you know? And it's not that I'm judgmental, because I respect everything that other people do, but, you know, if you want to be rewarded for the bare minimum, you know, some people get rewarded for the bare minimum. Others, they have to work their ass off for everything. And I guess it's an observation of privilege, but it's also, I guess, the way that goes too. The way that goes, you know? So where you go? I have to figure out, I don't want to have to redo this part. Smaller version? Damn it. Can't see, get out of my way. Fairy thing. Nymph. Forest nymph. There we go. That's perfect. Oh my god. This one's a little crooked. But, I mean, I don't need to go to your... I don't need to be in your internet red room. I don't need to go to your weird sex cult that all the entertainers go to. And I don't care too much for how uninteresting that seems, either, to be honest with you. I could care less, man. Have you... And here's the thing, do you ever look up into the sky at night and wonder if we're truly alone? That's deep stuff, man. Do you ever think about it? Who knows? Who knows? And then the celebrity guy. The celebrity is like a guy who played college football. The celebrity is just this, like, guy who sits on his phone, tries to act like he's not, you know, like he doesn't want girls to notice him. The guy who sits over in the corner, he doesn't want girls to notice him, but also he kind of like wants girls to notice him. He's got like a Rolex on, drives a nice car. Yeah, well, I don't want to sleep with you and your boyfriend who drives a really nice car but has boundary issues. I'm not gonna sleep with Joseph and fucking, excuse my language, but I'm not gonna sleep with Joseph and Miranda. Me and Miranda. So me and Miranda devised a plan, and Miranda was there. And it's just like some guy who just, you know, clearly just not the sharpest fucking tool in the shed. But still paid a lot. Still has a lot of money, so I mean, and that's the whole thing with Euphoria lately. That's what it is. If you are not a man because you cannot provide, that type of thing. That being said, I mean, there isn't a woman alive that wants to be with a homeless man either, so. So I guess that's where I'm at. But I mean, I'm still one of those people, like, I don't even like, I don't like a hand on my shoulder, you know? I don't like to be touched. So, with people with boundary issues and things like that, even people bumping into me, I get really weird at work. But, you know, Joseph and Miranda, they're they're in love. Joseph and Miranda don't have any boundary issues, and they have hundreds of thousands of dollars, and Joseph drives a nice car, and Miranda is his love. Miranda Miranda and he's sitting there like whining to her about it. Miranda, you never pay attention to me anymore. Miranda, you're too busy you're too busy paying attention to this Kaza on the internet. I'm gonna have to abuse him. You're too busy appreciating him when you should be appreciating me, Miranda. That's how you, and they, she can't leave him because he pays like half the rent in his apartment, or in her apartment. He pays half the rent in the overpriced apartment that they barely afford, right? I mean, they don't barely afford anything because they're celebrities, but still, Miranda. I'm sorry, I'm just laughing. That's it's too much, right? Whatever. You're having more fun than me. But then, I mean, you look at it. You look at it as an observation of that too. The way that people can be. And I think that's it. That's actually pretty good. You know what I mean? Just because when you take into account the fact that, like a guy, a, a couple, even, like those two people grow to be that shallow and weird about everything. So, I don't know, maybe I don't know, maybe I need to just talk to Miranda. It's just it's a generic name. It's a generic name. Okay. And when I tell you just from that, like you gotta think it. I've gone through way too much to have that be the case, or nope, that's exactly what it was. If you can prove me otherwise, let me know. To be honest with you. It proves me otherwise. But I don't know. I guess like you can take everything for what it is sometimes. Shouldn't glorify people that much. To be honest with you, not as smart as you think they are. And I don't know, right? People aren't, just because they're famous doesn't mean they're even relatively useful to society in any way. But Joseph and Miranda are couples, and Fred and Thomas. Don't get me started on Fred and Thomas. Fred and Thomas. Fred and Thomas are brothers. Okay? Fred and Thomas are brothers. And Thomas has a really good job. And Fred has always been very jealous of Thomas. Fred developed a personality disorder, while Thomas Thomas went to Cornell. Fred and Thomas are brothers. That's her whole story, right? But I don't know. I guess from that mannerism of thinking, even with my current circumstances in life, I sort of attribute that kind of thinking to me just needing to make something. Me needing to make something before I die here. Something worthwhile, or at least that lasts, so that, you know, maybe I'll still be remembered by the world after it's done. After everyone's dead, 100 years from now. Maybe someone will still remember your name or your spirit or something like that. That's kind of what the internet is for. But Fred and Thomas are brothers, and Fred and Thomas and Fred was always like this, and in relation to Thomas, and people always associate Fred and Thomas as brother. Is that your whole thing, right? That's your whole thing. You just want to be associated with someone. That's your whole thing. That's how people can be about it, so. You just want to be seen with someone, right? See, I'm like the exact opposite. I really don't even care. You can see, literally anybody, right? You can see anybody walking down the road. Oh my God, is that Jesus Christ? He doesn't even stop to talk to. Would you freak out over that? What celebrity are you freaking out about? Right? For me, it's most likely no one. You will never see me freaking out about a celebrity in public. To be honest with you, I don't even know. I'd rather see a UFO or something. If you could choose what to see. There's one time I looked up into the sky and there was a shooting star. That I crossed that off the bucket list that night. There was a shooting star and it was kind of cool. But a temporary moment of happiness, for sure. Temporary fleeting moment of happiness. It's just going through it in life. That's how a lot of things can be. But yeah, that's what all the young people are doing. That's what they like to do, apparently. You know what I like to do? I like to read. Oh, what? Aliens are here? What the hell? Aliens are here from space, from to attack me to space. It's actually kind of cool. Wait, what? Oh heck no, I love this. You can see the mentality, even with that. People like to feel valued. And even if, like, say, like, the whole celebrity, like, ah, do you know who I am? Right. Who are you? I don't know. You haven't done anything for me. You don't pay my bills. I barely even like you. Who are you at the end of the day? Then you're another issue to deal with. Especially if it's Fred and Thomas. Fred and Thomas who wear Nike Air stuff. Fred and Thomas who are them white t-shirt, blue jean wearing cowboy hat. Fred and Thomas types. And even then, you know, I don't mind if you wear like a cowboy hat and you're Southern, but just don't be like very racist and stupid, like Fred and Thomas. Because Fred and Thomas are brothers. You don't want to have to deal with the weird racist brothers. They just sit there and so funny. They sit there and just like they validate everything that they say to each other instead of like hearing anything else. They validate what they say to each other so that they have the validation, but even though they're wrong. Use Fred and Thomas. Fred and Thomas are brothers. And I'll never. And Thomas turns to Fred, and I'll never go back on my brother. I'll never go back. I'll never turn my back. I'll never turn my back on my brother. But I mean, that's kind of how like those dudes in the fucking weird sex cult are too, and they're, you know, younger people. That's how they are. I'll never turn my back on them. On the entertainment industry. Oh my god. Whatever. There's too much fucking time on their hands too. And I'll never turn my back on it. On trying to make people think this is acceptable. what Fred and Thomas in the sex cult don't know is that true love feels much better. What about love, Fred and Thomas? And they're all in the Discord chat. Well, okay, well let's talk about... So to get off the topic of Fred and Thomas, there's another cliche that I want to talk about. And it's the Discord cliche. There's always a guy with an anime profile pic. He's posting like GIFs in the chat. There's a guy with like tech experience. Like, hey, like you post in the chat, hey, how do I fix this? He's always like running to go and fix some girl's computer. There's like that one dude who like never has anybody to play games with. So he's always posting in Discord like, anyone wanna play League? For some reason, no one plays League with a guy. You have the Discord couple. They're at the top of the hierarchy. The Discord couple. They're at the top of the hierarchy. Everyone know, like, the guy can type in chat, but the girl will never respond to another guy. All you can see is like, she's typing down below, just so you know she's listening. No one has a mind of their own. And then you throw money into it. Everyone's like, hey, look what I got. And this is the event we're going to. But no one really cares because it's like they hate each other. They've been around each other for too long. They hate each other. I don't know. Right. But I just think that's funny. The Discord couple is at the top of the hierarchy. And it's Miranda. Miranda and Joseph. But Miranda, if I don't violate this guy, Miranda. Ladies, check your man's phone. Just ask him for it. Just check it. Just, hey, can I have your phone? I'm gonna look through your messages. Go ahead and check your man's phone. Miranda and Joseph's relationship dissolves so quickly, man. It's gone. It's dissolved. Go ahead and check your man's phone, check your man's Discord. Go ahead, ask him for it. Go and check it. Even Indeed resume. Even Indeed message. That's so funny. But Miranda thought we both agreed that we would respect each other's privacy. I don't care. Give me your phone right now. I want to know who's in it. Miranda. Give me your phone right now. Miranda. He like runs to go. He runs to go and delete shit. He locks the door. Deletes everything off of his fucking Discord. You're talking. Joseph was talking to another one of the girls in the Discord chat, and then we're being kind of intimate. But Miranda and Joseph spend a lot of time together. That is how it goes. That is what it is. You can't change my mind. You cannot change my mind about it. I'm sorry. But I mean, I guess as time goes on, right? Miranda doesn't care as much as you think she does. I'm gonna be honest with you. She was looking for the door. She was looking for a way out of the relationship in the first place. Why does he always say my name like that? Miranda! Why does he always say my fucking name like that? Miranda! I thought what we had was special. Miranda's fucking some dude on the side. Get your bag, sis. I wouldn't put up with that shit either. Get your bag, sis. And by the way, check your man's phone. Not just because I said so, but do it. Let's see, now they're gonna get all sneaky about it. Miranda, you gave me no time to hide all of the things that I did. That's Joseph. That's whoever Joseph is. Or whatever. I don't even know. This is a video game. So, I think I'm about done for today. I'm gonna make this class. Upload this to YouTube. Maybe go to sleep. I'm gonna figure life out. One way or another.